Hey guys, this is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's tip video will be covering how to add a listing to the KWLS. Now typically, depending on your market center, if you are List Hub enabled, your listing typically does come over from the MLS to the KWLS automatically and syndicate out to all 150 plus websites such as Zillow, Trulia, and so forth. Right, the main reasons that you'll want to manually add your listing to the KWLS is to expedite that process, okay, to get your listing syndicated out faster. Okay, another reason might be if you're having trouble with your MLS syndicating your listings for whatever reason, this is a great workaround to add your listing to the KWLS manually so that it for sure does syndicate out within a 24-hour time period. Okay, and that's typically the turnaround for these listings to syndicate from the KWLS. If you manually add it, is 24 hours. So let's take a look at how that's done. So of course, you'll want to be on mykw.kw.com, as you're seeing on my screen right here. And you'll want to come up to Technology on the top black toolbar and KWLS from that drop-down. Okay, so again, we're on Technology on this top black toolbar, and then let's go ahead and select KWLS from that drop-down, about the fourth option down there. And that should pop up a new window for you. Okay, so I did mention that if your market center is List Hub enabled, okay, your listings will automatically come from the MLS and syndicate to the will come from the MLS to the KWLS and then syndicate out automatically. All right, I can tell that I am List Hub enabled because I have this single point of entry box right here, right, with my market center names. All right, if your market center does not have that capability, you won't have this box right here at all, the single point of entry box at all, and you'll always need to manually add your listings to the KWLS. Okay, so to get our listing to syndicate out a little more quickly, to expedite that process, I'm going to go ahead and uncheck these checkboxes. Okay, that's a really important part of the process. If you do have this List Hub feature here, you will need to uncheck those checkboxes here to manually add a listing to the KWLS. So make sure we go ahead and do that there. All right, I've unchecked these boxes, and now, as you might have guessed, I'm going to go ahead and click Create a Listing in this top center toolbar here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click Create a Listing. It will bring me to a page where I can start entering in all of the listing details for this property. Okay, you'll notice right here it says enter listing details and features in the fields below. Fields marked with an asterisk are required. Okay, so you'll notice a bunch of fields here do have those red asterisks, so those are required fields. So things like house number, street name, the list price, all right, property type here, whatever that might be. All right, you'll notice some fields are not asterisk, so you don't have to fill that in, but you most definitely can if you want that information to syndicate out. Okay, so you'll want to just go column by column here, filling in all this information. Listing date, expiration date. All right, some big ones to point out. Listing status. All right, it will need to be set to active for this to syndicate out. Okay, any of these other statuses here, it will not syndicate out to all 150 plus websites such as Zillow and Trulia and so forth. Okay, so you will need an active status here. All right, another one, if you are a part of more than one market center, just make sure you have the correct market center here. All right, coming on down to the description field. Okay, these can be your remarks for the listing. Okay, so you can simply copy and paste this from what you're putting on the MLS, or you can add more in that description. We have some school information, and again, you'll notice these fields are not asterisked, right? There's not a red asterisk next to those, so you don't have to enter this information in, but of course, it's always good to give more information about the property. All right, such as school districts, we have stories, car garage, HOA dues. Okay, you can see all these different fields that you can fill in here. You have some green home information, luxury listing if that's a yes or no there, and then you'll want to click next once you're satisfied with all that information. Now just a heads up, once you click next, right, it will not let you go further until you have filled in all the asterisk fields, okay, all the required fields here. So make sure you fill out the required fields first and then you can click next. Now I'm not going to click next because I don't want to put a false listing out on the internet. Okay, but let me just tell you what will happen next. All right, once you click next, it will take you to a page where it'll prompt you to start putting in images of the home. Okay, so you can put in all the images for the home that you have. You will need to at least put in one image there, but I highly encourage putting in all of the images that you have if you have all of those. Again, to make sure that all syndicates out within 24 hours to all real estate websites. All right, you will also be prompted to put in the MLS number for the property. If you don't have that yet, you can just put in another number, but do make sure you come back to that page once you have the real MLS number so that that listing from the MLS syncs up with this KWLS listing. Okay, that's how they link, is through the MLS number there. All right, so once we have all of that done, all right, there is one other big thing that you'll need to do. Okay, and you'll notice up here it shows you the 3 steps that you have to do this. Okay, we created a listing. Once I click next, it would take me to put in the MLS number. All right, and then it will take me to add photos. Okay, so those are the 3 main steps in adding a listing into the KWLS. Now, just a big thing to point out, once you are done manually adding your listing to the KWLS, you will need to go back to your dashboard here. Okay, so make sure you go back to that dashboard option. And we need to reselect these checkboxes under List Hub Enabled. Okay, that's very important. Okay, again, the main reasons that you'll want to do this, okay, manually adding your listing to the KWLS, is if you want your listing to syndicate quicker, okay, expedite that syndication process. Again, once you add the listing into the KWLS here, it syndicates out within about 24 hours, okay, sometimes quicker, it depends. Right? So it does expedite that syndication process, or if you are ever having any issues with your listing syndicating from your MLS directly, you can always come into the KWLS to add your listing to make sure that does syndicate out. Okay, if you have any questions at all, feel free to email us at support@scottleroymarketing.com. But that is your myKW tip for the day.